I just received a phone call from United States, Ken Van Doren, I believe his name is. Beautiful speaking voice, this man. And this was set up by Pamela. Hello? Hello? Good, good. Thank you very much. I'll just put you on speaker. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. That's
okay,
good.
Now, I'm going to have the broadcast here in just a second.
Yeah.
And I go through a little bit of shtick at the front end there, and I'll tell that you're going to be on, but first a word from our sponsors, and then after that, I'll start asking you a few questions, okay?
Yeah, Ken, that's good.
And did you have any questions before we go on the air?
No, oh, well, you're a commercial,
Pardon?
you're a commercial station?
No, I'm not, but I do have sponsors.
Okay, and how many is the viewing or listening audience?
It varies. And then we do archive, and I'm told that we have more people listen to the archives than actually listen live, so...
Yeah, well, that's
okay,
right.
we're going live right now.
Okay, great.
And now, coming to you from high on a mountaintop at a secret location somewhere in central Wisconsin comes the voice of liberty. Okay, hang on here. I might not have this. Hang on just a second. Okay. I'm not sure if we're on it. Oh yeah, here we are. Okay, sorry for the
That's good.
sorry for the delay here. And now, coming to you from high on a mountaintop at a secret location somewhere in central Wisconsin comes the voice of liberty. More well-rounded than Rush, more civil than Savage, and way better balanced than Beck, bringing a bit of entertaining enlightenment to the world. Good evening, folks. This is your host, Ken Van Doren, and I have with me Brian Golightly Marshall, and we'll get to him just as soon as we hear from our sponsors. This program this evening is being brought to you by Rosario's Pizza. If you happen to be traveling in Wisconsin between the cities of Madison and Twin Cities, Minnesota, along I-90, get off at exit 116, go about a mile west, turn right on 1st Street at the end of the block on the left. You'll find Rosario's Pizza, and you will find there some of the very best Italian food in central Wisconsin, and you can wash them down with some of the beverages that made Wisconsin famous. While you're there, tell Randy that Ken sent you. The other sponsor this evening is Reality News Media Group. That's Reality News Media Group at yahoo.com if you'd like to request a print copy of our newspaper. And Reality News does what this program and Revolution Broadcasting does, news and comment. And you may get a free copy just by emailing there. Give us your name and address, and we'll happily send you one. Okay, good evening, Brian. How are you doing this evening?
Well, I'm very well. I love the intro, brought to you by a pizza. I love it. And you should be able to say, you could say, well, this is an interview with me, brought to you by God. And all you got to do is get off the airport and head down towards the Greensboro Highway, make a right, and there I am. Just ask anybody, they'll know where I live.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's your promo from your end.
Yeah. I love it.
Okay, real good. Now, I notice a pattern here, and I was just wondering if you might comment on the significance.
What are you talking about?
Brian Golightly Marshall and the lady that put me in touch with you.
Pamela, yeah.
Pamela Golightly Marshall. Can you tell us a little bit about what the Golightly Marshall is? I mean, apparently you're not blood relatives, or at least...
No, that's right. it's an interesting thing. What happens is this: the royal line that is of King David has been redirected by the English Parliament away from the true royal line, and that is the family name of Golightly, which is descended from King William the Lion of Scotland, and Marshall was the Earl Marshals of Normandy that married into the King William the Lion of Scotland's daughters and granddaughters family. In those days, this is going back to 1290 era, they always married first cousins. Now, that is not a strange thing to do. First cousins don't produce deformities as second cousins do, and that is why the royal families of Europe are all got links back to people that are born insane, because they intermarried into second cousin. So with the prophecies of the coming of the Lord out of Isaiah, it talks about the key of the house of David. Now, the key of the house of David has to be, number one, the most royal person alive. That's it. So what are you going to do really is find the most royal person on earth, and you've got who the Messiah is, Yahweh in the flesh, who was Jesus, reincarnated, if you like, back to the earth. It's that simple. Now, reincarnation is in the Bible many, many times. There's at least 60 references to it. It's just that it's been a little bit manipulated so that it is not quite obvious. However, the key of David is the royal family. Okay, now, there's a marriage that takes place.
Excuse me, I want to clarify something. Did you say key, K-E-Y, or king?
No, K-E-Y. It's Isaiah 22:22. It's the key of the house of David. That the problem, if you like, will be laid upon his shoulder. This is talking about the Messiah in the end time, who is the key of David, and he will have to deal with it. And what that basically is first off, breaking through all the Christian religions and politics of the earth that doesn't want the Messiah to come. That is why the house of David, which is the throne of David in what Queen Elizabeth sits upon, has all been taken over by the Khazars, which are non-Jews out of Russia. They call themselves Jews, but they're not. Just to clarify what a Jew is, it's a tribe. Judah is a tribe, and they all come out of England, and the Hebrews come out of England, and Scotland goes back to 3000 BC. So what we're looking for then is a key. Now, my birth date, January the 11th, 1944, is a key. And now you find that key is opening up the Great Pyramid in Egypt, which is the altar to the Lord, and that is Isaiah 19:19, 19:20 for people who are into the Bible. Now, it's a 5,000-year-old prophecy that's built into the Great Pyramid, and it's all based on lunations and solar eclipses and a certain opening date which can't be read before that date, and that's why all the experts have looked at the Great Pyramid. They can't understand it because it's based on things that they don't realize, which is divine inspiration that was built into it 5,000 years ago by the descendants of Noah. So if you then go into the historic documents that are all written about the Great Pyramid, it's always talking about it was a burial tomb for a pharaoh or some nonsense like that. Go back to the original documents, and it talks about the descendants of Noah coming from Palestine, defeating the Egyptian army by the power of their minds, and then remaining in the country for 100 years while they built the pyramids, and then went back to Palestine and they built Jerusalem. So it is a very complex thing, but the
You're saying, okay, let me clarify again. I'm having a hard time keeping up here, and I'm trying to take notes at the same time. But you're saying that the descendants of David built the pyramids?
No, the descendants of Noah.
The descendants of Noah.
That's right.
Spent 100 years in Egypt.
That's right.
And built the pyramids.
That's right.
And then went back to Palestine and apparently established the Israelis, or the first state of Israel.
No. There's a big confusion